Fight Town. We're glad to be back here for Friday Night Fights presented by Corona Extras. We are ready for our main event. 10 rounds between Norberto Gonzalez and Roberto Garcia, two veterans who are hopeful to try to stay the course towards something better at this stage of their careers. And there is Roberto Gonzalez, 32 years old, comes in with a mark of 20-2. This is his fourth fight in the U.S. He is coming off of a good win against Michael Oliveira. Came off the canvas to win. He was knocked down in the second round of that fight. Would go on to win a 10-round unanimous decision. And there was the 33-year-old Roberto Garcia. Took the fight on short notice, had to cut some weight, has won 5 fights in a row. His last loss was in May of 2010. Didn't fight for 17 months from March 2012 to August 2013. Garcia, 33 wins against 3 losses, 22 knockouts. Mexican born, but lives and trains and raised in Texas. Teddy has the fight plan, brought to you by Corona Extra.
Fish and fighters, something in common? Well, you need a hook to catch these guys, and a good, strong hook in boxing take you a long way. Let's find out right now who's making a splash tonight. Garcia, Gonzalez. Garcia's coming forward, banging to that body all night long. Gonzalez, he's the boxer tonight. Longer arms, a little taller. He's gonna punch and get out. I don't know if they have flying fish here, but if they do, well, Garcia, well, take a page from one of them. He's going to want to jump a little bit. Why? Because Gonzalez, he throws his punches and then he steps out with his hands low. So when he does that, jump, bang, flying left hook. You do that, well, you're King Neptune. King of the sea. Oh, King of the ring. Now, how's Gonzalez going to catch the big one? Well, part of it's going to be his legs. I'm Gonzalez, Garcia. Garcia comes straight in, one direction. So while he's coming in, get off, move your legs, get him, keep him off balance a little bit. Also, I think he's going to have a chance to land a big punch, a right hand. Why? Well, Garcia throws a jab, a little slow coming back, stands up straight, and you can get him to stand up straight, I think. If Gonzalez bends down low, bang, comes up high. If he does that, well, he catches the big one, the big win. You ready to catch dinner?
Yeah, we're going to have filet of fish.
You're going to catch some?
Tempting with what was behind you there.
Just glad Saul didn't go in there.
He didn't have a hook and a worm, I guess. He would have. We have Celestino Ruiz as our referee for this scheduled 10-rounder.
Gentlemen, you receive your instruction in the dressing room. I expect a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Let's touch up. Let's go.
They have a common opponent in Antoine Smith. Garcia beat him in a 10-round decision. Gonzalez lost to Antoine Smith, a fighter that's been on Friday Night Fights many times.
You know, that means a lot, I think. Sometimes people say styles make fights, and that's right. So maybe it doesn't mean a lot. But for me, it means something because it shows the level of competition that Garcia has been able to win at, where Gonzalez hasn't been able to quite win at that level yet. Garcia has fought the better competition. And as you just pointed out, has shown himself to handle that competition with their common opponent, with Antoine Smith, better than Gonzalez.
For Gonzalez, that was his U.S. debut fight. That was back in February 2009 when he lost the 8-round decision to Smith.
Now, this is what you're going to see. This is what we talked about in the fight plan. So no surprise. so far. Gonzalez, you know, using his legs, got a reach advantage. He's going to pop and move a little bit on the outside. He won't keep it up all night long. Well, what I should qualify that with is he will be allowed to keep it up all night long if Garcia is himself. And that means aggressive and going to the body. Because the way Garcia goes to the body, it will take some of those legs, some of the air out of the tires of Gonzalez. And that's what Garcia needs to do. Not do that. Not go to the head right now. Go downstairs.
Gonzalez continues to box on the outside, circling to his left. Put forth a decent work rate, putting out the jab.
Yeah, Gonzalez, you know, he wants to grab some early rounds because he hasn't been real active. You go back 2 fights, he was off almost 3 years. And Garcia, also some inactivity. You go back 2 fights, he was off 1 year and 5 months. But both fighters in the ring 3 months ago.
Garcia yet to cut down the ring and contain Gonzalez as Gonzalez continues to do work on the outside here.
Yeah, I give Garcia, even though he's losing this round, I'm not afraid to pick him. He's not looking good here. I give him a good shot if, and that's really the word, if he's in shape. He says he's in shape, but when you lose 14 pounds, if we are to believe him, that he lost 14 pounds in 11 or 12 days, well, that's not good. And it might be showing itself now. And a lot of fans are going to say, Teddy, it's not showing itself physically now, coming out of the chute, but it's showing itself mentally now, where Garcia knows he lost that weight, and he's not in the zone. He's not confident because he lost that weight. He's not sure that he can open up the throttle. He better open up that throttle, though.
Pretty decent opening round for Norberto Gonzalez here. End of 1 in Chicago. Oh, and he catches him right before the bell.
Welcome.
For 2 minutes and 59 seconds, Gonzalez outboxed Garcia. And then this happened.
Well, what I talk about, jumping up, flying fish, flying hooks. Well, there's a flying hook. Moves in a little bit, does Garcia, and catches Gonzalez behind the ear. Throws that equilibrium off, and I would say that it's fair to say that Gonzalez was fortunate that happened at the end of the round.
No doubt about it. Didn't want Garcia to have any more time to work off of that.
You wonder about the chin of Gonzalez, not the heart. And a lot of people could question me, wondering about the chin. You know, he's been in 22 fights, never stopped. But Gonzalez has been on the floor 3 times in his last 6 fights. And I think there's a good chance he'll be on the floor again tonight. And he almost was early on. But again, can one punch, if you don't drop the guy, can it make up for all those punches throughout the round by Gonzalez? The answer would be, or should be, no. That last round belonged to Gonzalez, busier all the way up to the belt.
Break, step back,
Did exactly what he wanted to do. Back to the jab for Gonzalez.
Interesting fight, I'll say it again. Garcia has been on the floor a few times in his career, too. But both guys, they can visit the canvas. And neither one are young, Joe. And that's why I find this fight almost intriguing. Gonzalez 32, Garcia 33. You could say a crossroads fight at this age for both guys.
Garcia talked about that in the lead up to this fight, saying he understands what it means for each man. Somebody's going to be able to continue on in their quest for whatever that is, whatever fulfills them at this stage of their careers.
And what it is right now, continuing on, the style of it, is Gonzalez doing what we said in the fight plan.
Step back, step
You
back.
know, picking and moving, using his legs, punching on the outside, picking his spots. And Garcia needs to go to that body, take those legs away. I said it in the first round, but he needs to use his jab, Garcia does. Because that will stabilize, as it does right there, that will stabilize Gonzalez on the outside. Take away a lot of that pot shotting.
See, CompuBox has tallied 65 total jabs thrown by Gonzalez.
Stop.
5 landed already from Garcia.
Box.
Gonzalez, when he's faced with real extreme pressure, a lot of times he'll fall into you. You know, he'll try to smother you. He'll fall in a little bit. That time he moves away, uses his legs. But right there, you can see he falls in. I think Garcia needs to be aware of that. Take a little step back and catch.
Chicago for Friday Night Fights, brought to you by Corona Extra. Round 3 of our main event, Garcia and Gonzalez.
You know, I talked about the ages the last round, Joe. Gonzalez 32, Garcia 33, close in age. But what's not close is the length of their career. Gonzalez
Stop.
7 years in his career, Joe.
Hey,
Garcia just over 13 years. So, I guess what I'm saying is, no wonder Gonzalez has legs that are a little fresher, even though he's only 1 year younger than Garcia.
Garcia turned pro back in January of 2001 and fought 8 times that year. Turned pro down in Mexico and then fought the meat of his career back home in Texas. 3 most recent fights have been in Texas as well. This is his first fight here in Chicago.
Remember the late great comedian Richard Pryor?
Oh.
You know, he used to fool around. He loved boxing. He used to fool around about the fights with Ali and Frazier and stuff like that. He used to say, legs don't fail me now. Well, that's what Gonzalez might be thinking too, as he sees Garcia coming at him. Legs don't fail me now, because Garcia's going to keep coming, believe me.
By the way, highly recommend the biopic documentary on Richard Pryor that came out within the past year. Tremendous film.
So you get a little more than just boxing.
Just a little more. Just a little more.
And again, Garcia, he's just going to keep coming. What I'm surprised at, maybe disappointed at so far, is Garcia not going to the body, which is his calling card to a certain extent. And again, you don't need me to tell you, you got a guy using his legs. It would be a good idea for Garcia to go to the body of Gonzalez. Take some of the, like I said earlier, the air out of those radios.
See some work from Gonzalez to the body for a moment.
Important again for Garcia, use that jab. You know, we know you like the power punches. Use the jab, though, to do that. Just to stabilize Gonzalez. Let you get in. Stop that picking and punching on the outside. Don't let him pick you off and do that. Get in where you can unload those big guns.
2 times he did that in the past 30 seconds, mostly to the head, but did have one crisp right hand to the body. There he tries to touch him to the body again with the elbows up, but then head hunts.
Yeah, you love to eat with those big shots. And Garcia has an appetite for those big shots, no doubt about it. But the utensils, the fork, the knife that allows you to eat that jab. Get it round for Garcia. This fight's becoming what I thought it would be. Getting tighter. It's getting closer quarters.
Distinct styles and strategy, making for a pretty good main event here. Stay with us.
You know, I talked earlier about Gonzalez having the habit of doing that, falling in a little bit, and that Garcia really, and there you're going to see it again, he's going to fall in. And Garcia needs to be aware of that, because if he's aware of that, well, he can put Gonzalez on the floor. He can take a little step back, anticipate that a little bit, and then throw an uppercut and catch Gonzalez falling in, instead of allowing Gonzalez to do what he really tried to do, which is smother Garcia. The truck, as usual, doing a good job to bring his nose.
Garcia trying to make his way in against Gonzalez.
Gonzalez better be in top shape. And again, because he's going to be feeling pressure from Garcia all night long, and I don't think he's in top shape. I mean, Gonzalez came in the heaviest of his career. So I'm not saying he's in no shape, but wouldn't go and endorse saying that he's in great shape or the best shape. And I think he's probably going to need it from Garcia if, and again, that if he started with, Joe, if Garcia is not affected by that 14 pounds he supposedly lost in 12 days. Garcia did take this fight on 11 days notice. Punch that I haven't seen yet.
Step back.
It's an old school punch that Garcia's good at throwing. I don't see many fighters nowadays throw it that much. You know, it's a body punch. A lot of guys throw the left hook to the body, but Garcia throws a right, almost like a crowbar punch. Like a cut of a hook around the elbow to the left side of his opponents. A right hand to the body that really can debilitate you. The old-time fighters use it.
Stop. Get back.
Surprised I haven't seen it from Garcia yet.
Watch the head. Watch the head.
Rather than the straight right to the body,
Yes.
turning it over. See the total punches according to CompuBox. Gonzalez with a 64 to 32 connect advantage. You also see the work rate that Gonzalez has put forth boxing on the outside from the opening bell. Now this is the spot that he can get him in and do something.
Yes, and again, the jab allows him to close that gap without punches coming from Gonzalez.
There's a left hand to the body from Garcia.
Yeah, we talked about geography earlier. Garcia's getting the geography he needs and he wants.
A little bit of a different tone here in the final minute of the fourth round where you can see the potential that Garcia has.
Exactly, Joe. It's starting to look like a Garcia fight, less of a Gonzalez fight.
And there's a cut above the left eye now of Gonzalez. Corner of the left eye.
Buying a car
In Huntington, New York, a 9 o'clock start time, Friday, February 14th.
You know, Joe, you talked about a little nip there. Nothing new to Gonzalez and Garcia being nicked up. A lot of head clashes in the history of these two fighters. Gonzalez cut by a head clash under his right eye in his last fight. And also 3 fights ago. And as far as Garcia, well, he was cut over his right eye 4 fights ago. He's had a no decision from a head clash. And he's been cut in a couple of fights from head clashes.
And the spot he has a cut on right now actually happened against Antoine Smith, that same spot, the common opponent between these two.
Yes.
Stop.
Then you're going to start seeing that crooked right hand that I talked about to the body from Garcia now. And again, when Gonzalez has some good fortune and good runs, and really that's what Gonzalez's style is about. He fights in spurts, and you can see it. And when he does, well, of course, it's attached to his legs, but it's also allowed because Garcia's not using his jab. No jab, Gonzalez can wander around. He can move a little bit, and he can pot shot a little bit. And he's doing it again. No jab, no stabilization of Gonzalez. No control over Gonzalez on the outside.
Garcia's making it a harder task than it needs to be. Let's look at the scorecards for both Teddy and you, the fans. It's a close fight on Teddy's scorecard, 2 rounds apiece. You know, these kind of styles, these kind of fights are often the fights that we see close on the scorecards. And the viewers see it the same exact way as Teddy, 2 rounds apiece. You can go to the Facebook's Friday Night Fight page, click on live scoring, and continue to score along in our main event here.
But there's a negative to be said about Garcia. It's that he's thinking about the inside so much, and he gets in there pretty good days, goes under and then on top. Sometimes he forgets about the outside. The outside is all about the jab. Step back. Something back at Gonzalez, so Gonzalez can't just pick him apart.
5-punch combination that finished with a left hand up high that got Gonzalez's attention.
Watch your head, watch your head. I saw that.
Cutting work of Garcia continues here.
Yeah, one of the flaws is Gonzalez pulls out, but he pulls out from close to his hand flow, and he's paying a price.
Caught another left hand from Garcia.
Watch that elbow. Yo, get over there, man. Let's go.
Joe and Teddy ringside. What is a interesting main event here between two veterans, two 30-somethings, Gonzalez and Garcia. The boxing of Gonzalez, the work rate against the pressure and the more effective punching
Get back.
of Garcia. Now Garcia utilizing that jab that has been absent too often.
Again, if the fans are yelling, and I think you can hear them through my headset, that Gonzalez is open to the body, then it's probably be a pretty obvious and good idea if Garcia would go,
step back.
as I've been talking about all night long, to the body a little more.
Right?
So there's two real good opportunities, obviously, for Garcia, really to make hay
Stop. Hey,
and really get
many
moving
fouls.
offensively.
That's too much, right?
One
Stop,
is on the
right?
inside when he gets in there, bang the body, go upstairs. But the other really is when Gonzalez sometimes throws his punches and escapes. Watch, even in here, as he escapes sometimes, yes.
He just pulled back there after.
He'll go back on the straight line.
Yep.
That time he kept his hands up. But a lot of times he'll pull back like
There
that.
it's right there.
And that's it.
Garcia could have followed him and thrown a punch.
And there's opportunities. And again, if we're seeing it, the corner of Garcia needs to see it.
Stop.
They need to relay it to Gonzalez. That's where a corner is so important. Again, if I'm in the corner, Garcia now, yeah, use the jab, slow him down on the outside, go to the body, but force him out. And when he goes out, go with him.
Step back.
Moments ago, he actually scored some of his best work, did Gonzalez, on that combination that landed up top. And here's Garcia coming right back at him. There was an overhand right hand that was driven down. That was a clash of heads that time as they came together.
Yeah, nothing new to these guys. As we talked about earlier, there's another bang of heads.
Saw the warning from the referee Ruiz, the shoulder and separation on the inside from Garcia.
Yeah, this pressure is intense. You know that old saying, pressure busts pipes. And right now, Garcia's trying to bust Gonzalez.
Stop. Turn around.
So good action here between Gonzalez and Garcia. Heard from the fight plan earlier from Teddy. How about a little in-fight adjustment, Teddy?
Well, I think there's going to be an opportunity for Garcia. You know, he's got his engine going pretty good now, and he's starting to get in, really starting to get into Gonzalez. So I think there's something to look for. As he's starting to get into Gonzalez, Gonzalez is going to do more and more this, falling in, grabbing, trying to smother. So that's his spot, I think, for Garcia. If he wants to really score a knockdown, and we always want to score knockdowns, I think there's a spot for Garcia to anticipate that when Gonzalez does this and falls in, well, Garcia should do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang, and let those punches go. If he does that, well, we'll get a knockdown. You guys will be happy.
Something to look for here. In-fight adjustment from Teddy. As the fight goes on, we'll see if Gonzalez falls in, reaches in, and if Garcia can create that space to deliver with success.
Box. Stop. Get back.
Now, another thing to watch for here And I think we saw a little sign of it around the goal. And the referee, I got to give him credit. He was right on top of it. And it's something that I've noticed Garcia do. You know, on the inside, Garcia does what I call, Joe, a bump and run. You know, he'll bump you with the left shoulder, with the left forearm. And
he just did it right there.
There it is.
He'll do it with the shoulder, the forearm.
Yeah, he will.
He's very rough on the inside, and he'll create his space the way he wants or do damage the way he wants.
No, you're right, Joe. And he knows why he's doing it. You know, he's not doing it just to be a mean guy or a tough guy or a rough guy or a dirty guy. He's doing it to separate himself, get a little bit of separation where he can then unload the hook.
He just actually did it even with the left forearm moments ago to throw the short right hand on the inside. But watch how he does it with the right shoulder to try to set up that left as well. And I really think actually Ruiz, the referee, could be coming up on being overdue for yet another warning.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. And again, for the fans at home wanting to look for just mostly the left shoulder. You know, and he can be subtle with it. He'll bump with that left shoulder, and then all of a sudden have room to get off, sometimes with the left hook.
There's a 1-2 from Garcia.
And a moment ago, you saw Garcia turn around and see where the ref was. That's not an accident. He wants to know where the ref is, so he knows whether or not he can get away with that. We saw the pressure the last couple rounds, but this round Gonzalez doing a little better shot, or job I should say, of dealing with it.
Stop.
And maybe that's because Garcia slowing down a little bit. You know, it looked like he was really getting into Gonzalez. And this round, Gonzalez coming back a little bit. Some of that pressure has dissipated a little from Garcia. And you wonder again, how much gas in the tank if he did lose 14 pounds.
Clash there moments ago that was noted by the referee to the ringside commission in case there was a cut to come up. More rough stuff on the inside.
Step back.
Rounds to go.
Well, here's the bump and run with that left shoulder. Watch. Gets in there, he bumps, pushes off a little bit, does Garcia with that left shoulder. Trying to get a little room, but didn't work out for him that time. The bump wasn't quite bumpy enough.
13-year pro, Mexican-born, Texas-based. Took the fight on short notice. Talked plenty about how much weight he has had to cut to make this fight. We'll see the effect it could have here in the final 9 minutes of action we are scheduled for.
Step back.
Not jabbed that time by Garcia.
That's that forearm.
So we talked about when there's separation and when Gonzalez is at his best. And he's not at his best when his back's in the corner, that's for sure. Because he can't use his legs. Because he's at his best when he can use his legs a little.
Gonzalez threw 110 punches in the last round, according to Compromise.
That was a good round for him, but an important round to stem the tide that was really going in favor of Garcia. And he's trying to do that again. And again, I think that maybe the gas tank a little towards the eaves with Garcia more than it normally would be at this point in the fight, because maybe that weight he took off so quickly in the last 12 days. But I was saying that Gonzalez, you know, he needs to be in the ring on the outside, in the middle of the ring, because when he's on the ropes, when he's near the corners, which of course Garcia tries to move him into, well, the best part of his game is not usable, and that's his legs.
Stop. Get back.
Yeah, I don't see the zip on the punches of Garcia right now.
Stop. Don't put him out.
And I don't see a lot of sweat. I don't see see a huge amount of sweat on Garcia.
Which is a telltale sign.
Yeah, that'd tell us that he might be dried out a little bit. Having made that weight, having had to reduce everything for so long, and not getting it all back, not getting all the liquids, all the fluids, all the substantive nutriments that you need.
Stop.
There's that bump and run again, but...
Oh, it was a good flush left hand.
Watch that elbow.
Gonzalez stood up to it firm and now retreats a bit as Garcia comes in here in the final 15
Don't
seconds.
lean on him. Don't lean on
That
him.
might have stole the round for Garcia because...
Stop.
There's that push, Teddy.
Yeah, there's the bump. He's going to get in trouble.
He's done it time and time again.
He's in trouble now.
Point
Take a
deduction
point.
coming. How about that?
Take a
Just
point.
when he may have had
Take a
his
point.
highlight of the fight with the left hand, the way
Time
this
in.
round will end is with a point deduction. How about that?
Well, we were talking about earlier that push with the left elbow, left arm. And, well, that time the referee saw it. And Gonzalez is the recipient
Get over.
of the point being taken away from Garcia.
It could be critical in a fight like this, where one guy has got work rate and volume punching and boxing on the outside. The other one in spurts is trying to be the aggressor and the bigger puncher, and how it's being viewed with the judges ringside. A point deduction there
Watch your head, guys. Watch your head.
at the end of the 8th round after Garcia had landed a flush left hand that scored well.
Don't lean on him. Don't
Teddy,
lean
you
on him.
thinking
Don't
about a
lean on him.
9-9 round there?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Joe.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, he had it at 9-9 because Garcia won the round with the big punch
Right.
towards the end. And then, of course, he lost the round, or he got penalized in the round for the
Don't push
push.
him. Don't push him.
And it made it a 9-9 round, at least on my scorecard.
I agree with the point deduction, Teddy. I think perhaps Celestino Ruiz, the referee, could have gotten one more warning in between initial warning to the point deduction. I don't know that I saw. Perhaps I missed it. The stern, if you do it again, I'm taking a point.
Well, I would agree with that. I didn't see that either.
Perhaps he did it in the corner prior to the round, but in fight, that wasn't clearly put forth. But I do agree with the deduction. I think it had gone on for far too long.
Right now what's going on is the pressure again. Looks like Garcia got his second win. Visited a gas station, I guess. Although I don't see the big zip in the punches that I normally see with Garcia. I just see the pressure right now, but not the zing in those punches.
Right.
Remember, Gonzalez has been on the floor 3 times in his last 6 fights, and Garcia caught him a good shot
Don't lean on him.
last
Don't lean on
round,
him.
but
Don't lean on him. Don't lean. Stop.
Gonzalez was able to handle it, absorb it pretty well. I think the hook's coming now for Garcia. He needs to turn him over. Not slap, not cuff. The last one was a cuff. He needs to turn it over so he hits with that surface of the glove. Then maybe he gets a knockdown. There's that push again, but the referee was on the other side. He didn't see it.
Gonzalez complaining about that. You can also hear his wife sitting ringside, imploring him to keep clear of it.
There's that shove again, and it worked for him that time.
It did with a right hand that followed.
Yeah. Then he did it again.
We will stay here and listen in before the 10th and final round.
Tenemos que cerrar en los últimos segundos fuerte, güey. Fuerte, tenemos que cerrar. Y lo sabes de qué te hablo. ¿Cómo se siente? Es el día ya.
You know what I'm talking about. How do you feel?
Hay que cerrar fuerte, güey. No te le quedes si no hay necesidad.
You gotta close strong. Don't stand in front of him.
¿Cómo se siente?
How are you feeling?
Vamos a
You
trabajar
okay?
fuerte, güey.
Let's work hard.
Camino.
Don't give this round away.
Vamos, sí. Vamos, Robert. Vamos, Robert. Vamos, es el último. No hay tiempo.
This is it.
Cánsate.
No time for
Muérete.
anything
Pero
else.
esta tiene que ser por nocaut. Es la primera. Yo quiero nocaut. Regálame. Vamos,
I want
regálame
the knockout.
nocaut.
Give me that
Vamos,
knockout.
vamos, vámonos. Vámonos, pero sobre. Estoy sobre. Córtale el paso. No le caiga atrás. 3 minutos. Ok, 3 minutos. Ok, vámonos.
Well, he gets that point deduction from the ref, didn't scare Garcia. Look, he goes right back to his old tricks. He bumps, and then he throws the hook, and that bump actually allowed him to score with that left hook over Gonzalez. But you know what the difference was with that bump, Joe? The referee was behind him, was behind Gonzalez, not on his side, and he couldn't see it. Garcia knows when to bump and run. At least he did that time.
10th and final rounds
step
here.
back, step back, step back.
230-somethings wanting to continue on. We heard the translation from Bernardo after the 9th round in the corner of Garcia. Heard him say, I want the knockout. Deliver the knockout.
Don't lean on him. Don't lean on him.
And part of that knockout, obviously, it'll be some hooks in there if he gets it, but it'll also be some body work if Garcia gets that knockout. And the opportunity, again, it's going to be when he's inside, and it's also going to be when Gonzalez pulls out. Gonzalez pulling out very dangerously with those hands down. There's that bump again.
He can't help himself, Teddy.
No, but you know what? I give him credit. If you're going to break the rules, break them when the teacher's not looking. And he's doing it when the referee's out of position.
It's a good-looking final round here. Another right hand backs up Gonzalez. And there's that bump again to create space. He didn't throw the right hand following it that time.
And it's disturbing Gonzalez, you know, because it's throwing him off. It's not allowed him to smother in there. And it's putting Gonzalez in position to get hit.
Some significant swelling down the face of Roberto Gonzalez as he splits the guard with a right hand, does Garcia. And he got caught by a right hand from Gonzalez in that mix right there. The uppercut just missed.
Oh, we were right. There was no shutout here in this fight. Good action all night long, back and forth. And Gonzalez digging down about as deep as he can.
Strong 10th round for these two. They're going to take it home here. Gonzalez trying to fire off that uppercut again as Garcia came forward. Coming up on the final half minute. Sweeping right hand as he backs up Gonzalez into the ropes.
Don't push him. Don't push him.
Oh, bad position to be in. A right hand reined in from Garcia.
Yeah, he can't use his legs when he's trapped like that. Gonzalez needs those legs, or whatever's left of them.
One final push to the wire.
That was a good one.
And the crowd enjoyed it as well. Great effort from Gonzalez and Garcia going the full 10. Nice way to finish up a night here in a great fight town, Chicago. As we say on Friday Night Fights, our kind of town. We'll hear from the judges when we return. You see the work there by Roberto Garcia in what was a very good-looking main event. We take you to our foolproof punch of the night, brought to you by Just For Men. We go back to our co-feature in Camille Waszczyk as he moved his mark to 16-0. Polish fighter fighting right here in Chicago. These Chicago fans saw a good one between Gonzalez and Garcia. Gonzalez did the early work, boxing his way. Garcia in the middle rounds. You have the point deduction for the rare 9-9 8th round when Garcia landed the big left hand, but then the point deduction for the excessive forearm pushing and shoulder use. You see it 6-4, say the fans. Let's find out which way it goes, and for that we head up to Thomas Trout.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a split decision. Judge John McCarthy scores it 95-94 in favor of Gonzalez. Judge Robert Hecko scores it 96-93 in favor of Garcia. And Judge William Lurch scores it 95-94 in favor of your winner, Roberto La Amenaza Garcia.
How critical was that point deduction? Think about it. The two scorecards for Garcia.
10 days, baby.
Tighten that thing up. Brought it right to the edge.
Yeah, obviously I had it a little less on the edge, 96-93, but in the end I thought good fight, good effort by both guys, but the right decision,
No doubt.
fortunately, by Garcia getting it, even though I didn't think it should be a split.
Yeah, the opposing card. Got many attention here. And here's the reaction by both. It's Garcia the victor, and Gonzalez goes. Such a close and competitive evening for him. Point deduction really tightened things up there when they were red. That was a good night, good main event from Chicago. Let's go back to the Friday Night Fight studios. Visit with Todd.
Coming up next week, we head to Huntington.